Sunday bites and tidbits. This life they'll help you live it and get yourself together. Sunday bites and tidbits.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Bites and Tidbits. What is it called, Babette? What?
Sunday Bites and Tidbits.
All right, look at you. She got a little swag on it, too. Sunday Bites and Tidbits.
I love it.
Anyway, welcome to the show, guys. We are so happy to have you tune in. Make sure you subscribe, like, all that stuff that goes with us because we are growing. And yeah, what's going on, ladies?
Well, we have some other material too. We have some subscriber only material that we are going to be putting in front of you. So for those of you who'd like to subscribe and become a paid subscriber, we're going to make special episodes and little special things that you can participate in that only paid subscribers can see.
And special events that you get.
And special events, all kinds of stuff. So.
Or recipes or workout stuff. Right, Babette?
Yep.
Well, right now, we're just going to do a little bit of recapping on some of our favorite people and some of the things. And so in case you haven't seen those shows, you want to go back and watch them. Okay, who was our first guest, guys? Senator Carol
Mosley Braun.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Carol Mosley Braun just... and you know what would be kind of cool, and I know this is extra work for our illustrious editor, but to drop like 10 seconds.
I was.
Okay. I love this woman. She is the first Black female senator in the United States in the history of the country. She also ran for president. She's an advisor to Kamala Harris. She's a dear friend and she's brilliant. And hopefully you guys can get a chance to pick up her book, which comes out, when did she say, January her book comes out? I think her book comes out in January, so we can put that up there too.
And she was so down to earth.
Oh, and nuggets, man, she just.
What was the takeaway for you, Silvia?
I think the takeaway was she's a survivor and she's someone who's maintained her courage and her focus no matter what the noise was. She said something that really resonated with me. That was a message for Kamala, and it was, don't listen to the noise. You don't have to respond to everything they say.
And Kamala does not.
And she doesn't. They're going to say crazy stuff. She said something about them, like making fun of her smile.
Yeah.
She said, babe, and she admonished us to love her and to speak love over her and protection over her. And it really resonated with me. This woman is an iconic figure in our nation. And she's not just an African-American or a Black icon. Right. She's an American icon. And I just, that's really what the takeaway was. Just do you. What do we say? Nobody can do you better than you. Just do you. Don't listen. Don't get caught up, in the noise.
The challenging part of that today is because social media, man, if you get any type of notoriety, even Babette knows, and then they come for you just because. So how do you do that and not take it personally? You got to do that and not take it personally. So,
yep.
Do you keep the noise away, right?
Right.
That's
right.
What she was good. I loved her. I loved meeting her. You know what? It's scorching here again in LA, so I got to keep my fan on. We're going through another heat wave.
We can't hear it.
Okay.
Oh, she's so.
She's like, oh yeah.
She's having a moment.
Way over here. And I got there we go. Okay. All right.
Last week, we talking about people being in Babette's bedroom. This week, Terrah's having a moment.
Yes, and it's not a hot flash. It's so doggone hot, and I'm upstairs and heat rises, and I don't have a fan or air on. But anyway, so who else did we have? So after Carol, we had, was it Keisha Sharp? Oh, can I tell you, she is one of those people that, as an actress, I've seen, and I've loved her work, but actually getting to hear her speak, and just as beautiful as she is, and all the things that went with that, she resonated with me because as an actress and a person in front of the camera, whatever I do, it's sometimes harder for me. Some people do it very well, to not look outside, especially when you see social media. And like this gentleman was talking earlier today, he said, people post the best of the best on social media. You don't even know what they're dealing with half the time. They're going to post the best of the best. So when they post book, or somebody say, oh, I'm on this other thing, it could kind of grind at you sometimes if you're not working at the time or you're in a transitional mode. And something Keisha said, that job wasn't for me. That job wasn't for her. And just to go on and do you. And it was just hearing someone else say it, because I do it, but not often, every now and then it could be challenging, depends on where I am in my space. But hearing her say that was such a reminder. It wasn't yours. I do so many wonderful things. I forget how many great things I do.
100%.
So listen, and embody and embrace those things and stay out of other people's yards.
You know what she said too, she said, I wasn't the only one praying for that job.
That's right.
I wasn't the only one believing for that job. If you got it, that was your job. I love that. And I love that you said that. Yeah, that's
my friend Trent, I don't know if you know Trent, Sylvia, but Babette, obviously know Trent. Trent is one of those people, whenever he would go on an audition, he really thought he was the only one that's going to show up. He felt like it was only him that was on. He would say, there were other people there. I was like, yeah, they're auditioning. It was mine.
Oh, wait, you're being serious.
No, I'm serious. He really was like, Terrah, like he just got so caught up that they were just coming for him. Now, what's interesting, and really just, I'm going to tap on this. I was talking to my son last night, and I remember when he used to audition, and we were laughing about this because he's up for another job and they just love him. And he walks away from every job going, yeah, once they interview me, they love me. And, and they always offer him jobs. So he gets job after job after job offer. But when he was auditioning, he would go into the auditions and he would come out and go, they love me. I was the best. I was the best. Can I go play now? That was every audition. Can I go outside? Can I go to Dylan's house? He didn't even stay there. He would just come out, I was the best, and move on. So it's like, we are the best for what we did. He was the best in his head. There was nothing to compare it to. So we got to be the best and love ourselves. And remember, everybody's praying for that next job. So whatever's for you is for you.
Yeah. And it's about not attaching significance to a specific outcome.
Right.
Go in, do you, next.
And that's for everything in life.
Everything,
people,
not just for actors.
Relationships, all of that, it goes with all of that. So that was one of my takeaways from that. So you guys, make sure, remember what?
Nobody can do you better than you.
That's right. We're going to keep saying that till it sinks in. All right. So our next guest after her was Harold LaFawn.
Love Harold.
Babette, you want to tell us what stuck out with you with Harold?
No, just, what I really appreciated about Harold was that after going through the whole cancer thing, he winds up being like I don't know, he's so sharp as it pertains to diet and taking care of yourself. It's almost like he had to go through that to be where he is now, the person, the giver, the sharer that he is right now. And that's the thing about life that I find so incredible and amazing. Even with your girl, what's my other girl? The Arnita. Oh, I just met Arnita. So
we're gonna talk about her.
I know, but as you learned her history, I learned her history.
Wow.
And just, you understand what I'm saying? Just being able to hear these people and their journeys, their human experience, and then meeting them today. It's just amazing to me. It just really, really, really says so much about the human experience and the journey and the beautiful gift of life and all the knowledge you pick up, no matter how hard it has been, how rough it's been. Those people are they have such brilliant light right now. It just really speaks volumes to the beautiful gift of life.
Yeah. Harold was funny too.
Harold was, I applauded Harold because not too many would talk about on a platform that they had on some Depends.
I know.
That vulnerableness and not caring and just saying, you know what, this was an experience.
He's a sharer. He's sharing. And that comes from nothing but love, you know, for a brother.
He radiated joy. A lot of joy.
And the fact that there's so many brothers going through that right now. And this brother realized, oh, I need to clean it all the way up, and healed himself. So that information is so needed right here, right now. And he gave it all to us. It was beautiful.
And he looked good.
And he fine. He fine now. Yes, he is fine.
You sound like an old Maybelline. All righty. And then there is your girl, Anita Champion.
Man, Arnita is tough. I'm telling you, I would have never guessed that Arnita had gone through all. When she said she was on drugs, I was like, anyway.
Well, people look at you and don't realize your story.
I know. That's why people. My mother used to say the darkest hours are just before dawn.
And there's a song like that.
You know, you don't give up too quickly.
Yeah.
Because the sun is always shining. It's always shining. Some place on the planet, the sun is shining.
And when you said that, your light just illuminated.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Did it?
Yes. Yeah, you said the sun is shining, the light went ping. Because I was just looking at you I was saying, Babette is so pretty.
So pretty.
We are all so pretty. I'm so
looking at you. I was just looking at you going, mm-hmm. Then I look down at Silvia and I go, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These are people that I hang with. Ain't nothing wrong with hanging with beautiful people.
Hey, no, but you know that the other thing about Arnita though is we had to put a trigger warning on that episode because Arnita talked about suicide.
I know.
Sexual promiscuity and like all the things.
All the stuff.
So, don't you find though on our show, people come on here and just get vulnerable. They just talk about stuff. They talk about stuff they never told somebody else.
I had no clue, especially about the suicide, the drugs, I had no clue. She's so powerful and strong right now and so happy.
And then she said,
comes across happy.
And then she said, but God. It was so good.
I know, it was good.
And then who else did we have? We had Leo Langaro.
Oh, that was good.
And that resonated to me because, you know, I have panic attacks with police officers.
Yeah.
Panic attacks for myself. I have panic attacks on behalf of my children, especially my sons. Because I told you that experience when I had guns pulled on me, you know, and those kind of things shape you and it never leaves you. And I always feel, not always, I feel as if a lot that I have to manage this thing. And talking it out with someone who kind of was in that lived in that world, it helps some.
Did it help a little?
It helped a little.
The way you feel?
A little, only a little bit, because I know that he is one in
Yeah,
in a small in a big thing of sand. He's one little speck that.
Yeah, but is he though? Is he really? Or
Well,
is that what they want us to believe?
as far as my experiences
Your
go.
experience, yeah.
Right. So until I have more of wonderful and empowering experiences, it's still battling those old tapes of mine. But you know, there's so many comments. We had so many comments and so many people replying about that little episode, because I think all across the world, people are saying, we need him in Washington. We need somebody like this over here. We're all looking for the kindness. What happened, you know, where we can have people to take care of us, but they're also kind, that if you call them, they're not going to mistakenly take you out because they don't really care about their job. They're just there to do a job, you know? So that's very comforting, you know, just to know that, oh, and he lives across the street from me. So I wasn't in any issue, but I was working with someone who was in something, and in my brain, I was going to jail. And so I went over there. I said,
I remember that. I remember that.
I said, I need to talk to you because I don't know. Well, he says, first of all, they're not looking for you. You've done nothing wrong. They've arrested this person on a probation thing that I didn't know anything about.
And that ain't got nothing to do with you.
It had nothing, but in my brain, I was like, because they'll figure out a way to take me too, and I'm gonna be in there, and I'm gonna be on these little things with bugs and roaches and rats. Yeah, I had a whole moment, so I had to go over to Leo's house, and he just laughed, but he was so kind.
He was great. All of our guests have been great, but that's a nice segue into Jacqueline Lindsay.
Yeah.
Who is my friend and the CEO of kindness.org. And she said so many things. I mean, like, I know Jacqueline, but she said a couple of things that I didn't know, and told some stories about her history, particularly, oh man, when she said, I think her quote was that she got bullied a lot, but specifically not just for being poor, right, but for being ugly. And she said, apparently, I was a very ugly thing to look at. I was like,
that made me cry.
And she said, just a few weeks prior to being on our show, someone had asked her in a whatever conversation, how do you start your day? And she said, I start my day by looking in the mirror and saying, good morning, ugly. And it hurt my heart because I don't see her that way at all, you know, but it was not about how we see her. It's about how she sees herself. And to your point, these things they don't always, but they can take root, you know, and resonate. And Babette and I were both talking about our kind of mixed bag of our experiences back to Leo with the police. You know, mom's experience, Babette, was like, yeah, everybody comes over and hang, it's great. But your brother's experience was something completely different. And then my experience as a child, and then my experience as an adult with my son. So it's a very interesting thing. But ultimately, how many people have been on this show? Even Carol Mosley Braun, even Keisha, how many people have been on this show and talked about kindness? And not because I brought it up because I'm all like kindness. They brought it up. Leo said the name of his book would be called Kindness. Every single person, there's been a through line of that on this show. And I think that's by the design of the universe, because we certainly didn't design it that way. It's just what God has orchestrated for us, you know.
I also think that the climate of the world, people are just looking for some
kind.
We're looking to take a breath out. We're looking to exhale. We're looking to just take it down a notch. Everything, just take everything down a notch, so we can all catch our breath. You know, and I can't blame it on social media, because it's the people who run social media and the people who are on it that we keep perpetuating. And before, I think there could be things going on in the world and we would never know. And if you didn't watch the 6 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock news, remember the news came on like twice in the evening, and that was it. But now you're bombarded with it. everywhere you turn, there's something. So you literally have to detach from everything in order to stay away from it. And then when people call you,
you really do have to detach.
and Babette detaches. She found a way that
Look at Silvia.
it's all legal. It's legal. It's legal.
But you do though. But you do have to, and whatever that means for you is what that means for you. But I think also the insidious nature of social media is that there are things coded into it to make you addicted.
Yes.
And so once you're on, you can spend an hour scrolling and not even realize you did it because it's designed to make you stay. And so you have to make a decision of quality. And I don't really care if, I mean, I've had people say, I don't see how you can not watch the news.
I don't know.
I get my news and what I need to know from the Spirit of the Lord. And if I need to know something else, like what's happening with the strike or whatever, that's going to affect me or something I can pray about, get a snippet, I'm done. I don't need to feed on it.
And everyone's different. And you know what, for me, I can't feed on it. It doesn't work with my spirit. But someone else can watch it and then
I watch MSNBC like a series. It's like a series to me.
But that's what I'm saying. For you, you can do it. For me, I can't take it. So I know to remove myself from it. So everyone is so different in what we're made of. You know, I don't separate very well. So I know that if I go into that, next thing I know, I'm in every scenario that's on the news. I'm trying to figure out a way out. In my head, this is where my head goes to. So I try to eliminate any of that in my life and try to just stay. But I think we all are looking for a little bit of just breathe.
Watch our show and you'll feel good. Because every episode makes you feel good.
And inspire. And you find that you're not alone, right? Because everyone that has been on, we can all relate to all of them in some form or fashion. So anyway, we just wanted to do a little recap of our favorites, and we hope that you guys are enjoying the podcast, and make sure you subscribe, because what? We're going to have some good things, and only our subscriber reviewers will be able to enjoy them.
And go back and catch up. Watch our, what we have, 6 or 8 up. How many do we have up right now? 7?
No. 7.
But go back and catch up.
7, right?
I think it's 7.
And you guys, you can watch us here on YouTube for sure if you want to watch us and see us. But you can also go to all the places, Apple, Spotify, whatever, all the podcast places, and just listen to it. Yeah.
Babette, what you want to say with your smiley self?
Babette ready to go eat that cauliflower.
In 20 minutes, I'm going to call the girl and she's going to bring the cauliflower. I'm so excited. I know. So
can we rush this along?
I'm also waiting to hear from, I had to go to a new doctor who's hooking me up with a new surgeon. And so I have to wait to see when I'm going to have the surgery on my hands. And then after the surgery, I'm going to start a 15-day water cleanse, a detox. But until I get that information,
you're going to eat your cauliflower, girl. Eat your cauliflower.
The cauliflower, I'm going to eat that food my daughter brought me back from that restaurant. I'm going to eat all of that this evening as soon as we are done with this.
Because what? Because nobody what?
Can't nobody do me better than me.
I love
nobody.
That. Can't nobody do you better than you.
And as you can see, it says what?
Birthday girl.
Not my birthday, but I decided it is. Because what?
Happy birthday. Oh.
Can nobody do me, you, us better than you, me, or us?
I love that.
So step back next week.
Ring, Silvia. The flower.
Oh,
funny.
You can't really see it though, can you? I gotta get.
It's kind of.
there it is.
Now. It's a rose.
I love big rings.
It's a rose. You've got nice hands. My hands are that's all a person has to do if they want to know how old I am. They'd be like, let me see your hands.
Well, I think that's with all older people. You know, our hands age us. But we can always get some nice silk gloves.
These are working hands. Look at this finger, won't even stretch all the way out.
That's not old hands. That's work in a restaurant, hot water hands. That's what that is.
Okay.
Well, and this May Catherine's ring.
Oh, that's beautiful.
May Catherine. What was your mother's name, Babette?
Inez Francis Lula Carrie Margaret Lee. She had all them names. She told me that. I was like, you know, you ain't had all the names, but she had them down pat. That's how she used to say it. Inez Francis Lula Carrie Margaret Lee.
Wow. My grandmother was Irma Lee.
Irma Lee?
My dad was Herbert Lee. I don't know if that matters, but.
And Mitchell was Mitchell Lee, and Amber is Amber Lee, and Meredith is Meredith Lee.
Bunch of Lees.
Babette. Anyway, that was an inside joke.
You silly.
Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week
with a brand new show.
That's right.
So, Babette, you go enjoy your food with your cauliflower.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to call her right now.
Okay, call her right now. And we see you guys next time on what, Babette?
Sunday Bites and Tidbits.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, baby.
Bye, y'all. Love you.